Oh, hey, how you guys doing? This is episode 3, case study series. Welcome to the case study series. This is episode 3 with Moshoodat. She is an aspiring makeup artist. Well, I can't really say aspiring anymore. She's been doing her thing. She's been growing her business. She's done jewelry for Beyonce. She's worked with Love and Hip Hop, has done things with Mona Scott, and many more. So welcome to the show,
Thank
Moshoodat.
you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for just being a guest on the show. Thank you for believing in just the episodes. I know I sent you episode 1. You thought it was cool, so you figured you'd join. And let's just start off. Just go into it. People don't know. People know who you are, but if they don't know who you are, they need to know. And let's just start up with your background, how you grew up.
I'm Nigerian, but I'm born here. I got a mom, I got a dad. What do you want to know?
Oh, no, I'm saying what part of New York?
I'm from Brooklyn.
There's a difference.
Girl.
The Bronx is different from Brooklyn versus Staten Island versus Harlem and everything else. So, just tell the viewers, you were born in New York, born from Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn?
I was born in East New York, but then ended up moving to Flatbush when I was in junior high school, and I've been a Flatbush girl for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so when did you, this whole makeup thing, right? When did this started becoming a thing for you?
When I cut my hair off. When I first cut my hair off, I never wore makeup. I never wore anything like that. And I was like a tomboy.
Okay.
And then I started looking at makeup stuff. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. I like how it makes me feel. I like how I feel. I like how I make other people feel. And then that was that. And then it just started from there.
Oh, okay. So it just inspired you to just do makeup and just start off like that. Give me the first inclinations when you kind of knew you were, you could really make a career out of this or do something.
I went to school for advertising and design originally. Before I met you, because I dropped out of school and then went back to school, and that's how I met you.
Same thing for me. I went to college and dropped out.
Yeah. So I went to school for advertising and design, and I was really good at the hands-on art classes. But when we got into Photoshop and InDesign, I was just suffering. I'm just not a computer girl. And I was struggling with that part of my classes. I wasn't struggling with others, but I was struggling with the technology aspect of my classes. And then I was in school, and I came across this Kevin Aquan book called About Face. And he's a legendary makeup artist. He used to do Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, all those other people. He passed away. But I was looking at his book, and when I was swiping through the book, it was the same color wheel that we was learning in school. It was the same things we were learning in school. It's just that the human being is the canvas and not a piece of paper. And then that's when I knew, okay, I could do this. This makes more sense to me. And then I'll be in class thinking about eyebrows, trying to draw out eyebrows while I was in class. So I knew, all right, yeah, this is where I needed to be.
Okay. So are there any other inspirations besides that started it off?
Like what?
I don't know. Besides that, were you into cartoons? I seen some of your...
I'm a big kid. I'm definitely a big kid. I love color. I love SpongeBob. SpongeBob is my favorite cartoon of all time.
SpongeBob?
Yeah. I used to have a big gap like his when I was younger.
You should have kept that. I kept mine. Nah.
I got braces and cleaned that up. But yeah, I love SpongeBob. Yellow is my favorite color. I love how bubbly and energetic and happy he is all the time, and I feel like I like to live life that way. Not annoying like him, but I like to, live a positive lifestyle and just do the things that bring me joy. So yeah.
Okay. SpongeBob, that's very interesting. Yeah. Spider-Man's my favorite hero. Nice. Cartoon started off there, but makeup. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry,
yes,
right?
It is.
How did you start working with brands, and what are some of the brands you've worked with?
Brands happened to me, especially at that time, especially when I met you. At that time, I was going viral online for a lot of my art projects, things that I would do with this photographer named Island Boy. And the projects would go viral so often that brands just started discovering us. Like I've worked with Iman, I've worked with Black Opal. I still currently work at Juvia's Place. It's a cosmetic brand that you can find at Ulta and things like that. I make headpieces, and now I do creative directing for that company. So that's been a blessing. I'm just really grateful for the internet. The internet could be a powerful tool if you use it correctly and you just run with it. If you run with your creativity and you stay consistent.
So what was the first piece of art that you made that went viral? That was like, wow, oh, okay.
I did like yellow paint. Like I would do something called the paint series where I would like paint on the body and add flowers and all these other things, and people loved it, and it went.
Tell me, how'd you get on Love and Hip Hop?
Oh, so Yandy, I actually did Yandy's Yele Skin. She has a skincare line.
Okay.
I did her campaigns for her in the beginning. That's how I met her. She saw our work online, and then she booked me to do her skincare brand, and then she was just really good to me. And then I was selling my jewelry because I also make costumes and designs. I was selling my jewelry in Ghana in Kimpiski. And Kimpiski Hotel, my friend had a pop-up, shout outs to Val. She had a pop-up in the lobby of the hotel where people were buying African designers. I'm technically still an African designer, so I was selling my pieces there. And Mona was buying my rings or whatever. But Yandy introduced me to her, and when she introduced me to her, I saw her with my rings on, and I was just like, oh, wow! Like, no way. And then she saw me also making a headpiece at the lobby of that lounge where people were buying products. She saw me making a headpiece from scratch, and then she was like, yo, I want you to come with me to New Orleans and make me some Afrocentric headpieces, because she was Mardi Gras King that year. This is right before COVID. And then we had a good time. She showed me a good time. She treated me and my homegirl really good. My homegirl came and assisted me. And I was just like, wow, this is like crazy. Like your jewelry could take you places. Your ideas can take you places that you could have never imagined. And yeah, past COVID passes. I'm in my apartment. I get a random call from Mona. Like, I'm working on this Love and Hip Hop series with African ancestry. Shout outs to Dr. Gina. I love her so much. And she was like, we need Afrocentric costumes. We need you to dress every person up from where they come from after they did their DNA test. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, yeah, I'm going to make you creative director of this project. I was like, okay. And then she was like, I'm going to call you next week and you go into Atlanta for 2 weeks. So I was like, okay. Like, I just, life just happens, life just be happening and you just go with it. But it's always important to sow seeds. Nobody's too big. Nobody's too small. Listen, these people have cousins. Yandy has a cousin. Mona has a cousin. You have a cousin. You don't know who's related to who can open doors for you and how your life could change. You just have to be kind to everybody and practice patience,
Yeah, you see that? Y'all motherfuckers stop thinking y'all too good for stuff. Stop thinking you too good for stuff, man. That's what's really important. Let's talk about your studio that we're sitting in. You recently just acquired a studio, which you primarily work out of in Manhattan. I won't give the location. They gotta pay. They gotta book a session for that. So what made you want a studio? How did you come about getting the studio?
I feel like for my entire career, I've been really nomadic. There's times I've been in Ghana for 3 months, times I've been in London for 3 months. I was in LA for 7 months. I was in DC for like 6 months. I was in Boston for like 4 months. I've been very all over the place. And sometimes when you just go with the flow, being all over the place is not a blessing. It's a detrimental thing. And I wanted to start afresh, and I wanted to make sure all my bases were loaded as I started fresh. So now I moved back to New York, and I don't plan on not living in New York anymore. I've decided in my mind, like, oh, you know what, Mo, you're gonna stay in New York. Whatever comes to you, it has to come to you in New York, right? So I was just like, let's just get a studio. and have a place where your clients could come, where people could come, because I've never done that before. I've worked in salons, I've worked at counters, I've worked at people's houses, I've come and done like, traveling, makeup work, but this is the first time I've actually been like, you know what, let me just make sure my bases are loaded. I've never done this before, and I'm happy. I think it's bringing me more like stability, because I feel like in my 20s I was just everywhere. Anywhere you told me to pull up, I was pulling up. But you can't keep doing that. At some point you gotta have some, the word is structure, because it's not about stability, because you could be making a lot of money and just being all over the place. And I learned that the hard way during COVID, because I never bought property, I never had apartment, because I was literally only staying in New York for like 2 or 3 days out of a month and traveling, so that I didn't feel the need to get anything. I just felt like I was just a free runner, And so now, after COVID, that has changed so much, and I'm focusing on also the day-to-day people, being a part of people's lives, the basics, going back to the basics of my career.
Basics. So, what are some of the places that you liked that makeup's taking you that you got to see? And what's some of the places that you thought you wanted to go to and you traveled there and you was like, oh, this is not exactly what I thought it was?
I feel like every place, because other people travel for leisure. I cannot say that I've ever really traveled for leisure. Only twice have I ever traveled for leisure. There's never been a time that I traveled because I wanted to be lit and I spent all my money there and now I gotta come back no, that's never been me. I always made a way, announced that I'm coming somewhere, let people know, make myself available for blessings, make myself available for bookings, make myself available for opportunities. I've never gone to a country, really. Only been to Turks and Caicos in Cuba, and I was somebody's girlfriend at that time, and I went on vacations with a guy. But other than that, nah, I don't do that.
We're gonna keep jumping around here, but since you brought it up, relationships.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You've been in a relationship, obviously, and with your career and what you said earlier, you stayed 4 months here, 3 months here at a time. How hard is it to keep a relationship? Or do you feel like relationships are good for business? Or
I don't feel like I'm the best person to ask, because when I was younger, the first boyfriend I ever had, he's doing really good with his career. He's also an entrepreneur and he blossomed in his career. That doesn't count because that relationship was mostly helping me get my first logo, buy my first this, do my first that. Like, we built each other's brands. Second one was super supportive. He was in medical stuff, but was super artistic, so he helped out and everybody got along with him because he's super lovable. After that, I didn't have boyfriends. I was just hustling. I didn't care about boyfriends. So I think the one advice that I would give people is make time for your love life, because you get into your 30s and then you're like, oh, wow, I let this person pass me by. I let this person pass me by. A lot of people that I should have been in relationships with, I'm still cool with them, and then I see them prospering in those ways, and I'm like, oh, wow, like, I should have practiced patience. So I think it's really important for entrepreneurs to simultaneously build on their love lives and build on their careers. Even if you have a dream, there's dreams for every bracket of your life.
So you believe in like a work-life balance?
Yeah, or a person who fits it. There's people who fit it. People do it all the time. There's people who work remote jobs. They can meet you anywhere in the world.
That's good. That's good. I want to segue into the jewelry. Mm-hmm. So you did jewelry for Beyonce?
She wore my pieces for Black is King. Yeah, she did.
Wow, that's crazy. How did that happen?
She had an ABC special one time, and on the ABC special she had a mood board, and my work was on her mood board, and I was like, yo, like, my work is on channel 7 right now and it's on a Beyonce mood board, like, I'm on her mood board. So somebody sent me the video footage of it, so I posted it on my Instagram, like, listen, If anybody know who her stylist is, anybody know, just tell them to DM me. Within 30 minutes, they hit me up. And within 30 minutes, I was like, oh, I was been looking for you. Her name was Bianca. She's not, I don't think she's with her team anymore, but she was with her team on that project. She was like, I've been trying to look for you online and da-da-da-da. You didn't really write back your emails on time. You probably would have been in South Africa with us, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, wow. Okay, well, this is what I got. And then I showed them what I made, things I had. They already had worked on a large part of the project already by the time
you came along.
I came along. So they still use my pieces. And they use my pieces on some of the models too in the King already.
No, don't be scared to sing now.
No, I'm just saying that song. I forgot what it's called, but they use some of my pieces on the models on that one as well. So I was just grateful. And then they posted me on their website. And then when the project came out and people knew that my pieces was on there, those bracelets sold like crazy. I was just like, wow, this is during COVID. And yeah, I'm thankful for that. But many people, not to toot my own horn, but it's a lot of people that wore my stuff. I don't know if you ever heard of Yemi Alade. She was like the first Afrobeats artist to really wear my jewelry and my headpieces. She really helped me get out there. Spice, I don't know if you heard of Spice. Spice wore my stuff for the New York Times. That was when I was in Jamaica. I went to Jamaica, ended up meeting her. She ended up wearing my jewelry, multiple occasions. You know, I'm really grateful. Like, I'm really grateful for where I've been, where I'm going, what's next. Yeah.
Let's talk about the business aspect of it, right? What would you say, how much would you say you invested in your career to get you to where you are now?
Everything. That's why it's important, like, when you're young, I think there's beauty in being a young entrepreneur, because if you could still live in your mother's house and you don't feel uncomfortable, and you could rack up and you could save and you could reinvest in things at every point in your life, because it's, especially when you have a creative business, I feel like every day I walk past Dollar Tree or I go past Michael's, or every day is an investment, because I could have bought glitter from the dollar store today, or I could go and buy fabrics from the fabric store tomorrow. That is still an investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like an artistic business is a lot different from when another style of business, and they're like, okay, these are my numbers, I punched in, da-da-da. But I feel like imagination has no numbers. Imagination is priceless. So I feel like it's a whole thing. Going to museums, that's an investment. You know, traveling, that's an investment, because you could experience somebody, you could bump into somebody with a really cool outfit or anything like that, and it could draw you inspiration for your next project. So I don't think there's a dollar sign on being a creative entrepreneur, but I think that you have to be financially fluid. I think that's very important. So whatever hustle you have to do till you get to where you really want to get to, you got to do it.
Okay. Any times you've been like really hungry or broke and you just didn't think anything was going to work out, and then that last second something just came through and just...
Of course. I feel like that's why it's important for us as entrepreneurs to just keep hustling no matter what, because I have multiple streams of income. I have makeup. I'm still a makeup artist. I have jewelry. I have a studio. I have all these other things. So it's like, I think, like I told you, being financially fluid, making sure you have different ways for things to come your way. I sell body butters with my mom. Me and my mom have a body butter business, a skincare business. And, you know, we do different things. I go to festivals. I sell my stuff at festivals. I use the brand that I've built to do certain things like that. I'm never too big or too small for projects. And I think that's how you stay, you know, you stay blessed.
So how long would you say you've been doing this, like professionally?
What, being an entrepreneur?
No, being a makeup artist.
I've been a makeup artist since I was 18. I'm 32.
Okay. Now, is there anybody you see that as a makeup artist or like anything in your lane that you've been doing as far as Afrocentric art and Afrocentric creative directing that you like, oh wow, these girls are coming up. These girls, this was ill. This is
Oh,
dope.
like people behind me?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really watch the internet the way that I used to pay attention to what's new or ill, because I do feel like it's hard for you to draw your own form of inspiration when you keep clocking what everybody else is doing. So I even feel like that with any other talent, even if it's like, because I like writing poems or different things like that. If you listen to a certain artist for too long, you might make a song and it might sound
like him.
Yes. So I don't think that that's important. I don't think that that's the best idea to do in the first place. But for me, my favorite makeup artist, Black woman, Danessa Marix. She's been a creative. She was the reason why I felt comfortable enough to do artistic makeup on Black women, because she was the only person doing it. And now she has a big cosmetic brand. She's in Sephora. She's really supportive. I did a event with Safe Horizon last year, where we did makeup for women from domestic violence situations. Oh, wow. And she sponsored. Or, and shout outs to Ami Cole, Daria, another Black girl who has a brand that's in Sephora. Shout outs to Juvia's Place, a brand that I'm currently creative director for. Like, those are the people that inspire me. Nowadays, I'm inspired by business. I'm not necessarily inspired by art the way I was when I was younger. When I was younger, I was just hungry as an artist. But now I'm mostly like, wow, what do I need to learn about business, and how do I make my circle a business circle, and how do I elevate, how do I grow, who are the people that are talking to me, who's elevated me. Now I care about that, because I already know what it's like to be a really good artist. I've done it,
Oh, little cocky, I like that.
No, it's not like that. It's just after you complete something, you need to advance. You need to learn more. You need to elevate. And I feel like when you perfect yourself in one department, there's always a department that you left dormant. The same way I said people didn't focus on their love lives because they focused on their career. It goes for even in your career. There's departments in your business that you could have been better at,
So, getting into the business, what business books, what businesses are you looking at? Where are you getting your knowledge from? What are you watching? Who's some of your favorite entrepreneurs who've helped you with even your business model, or things that you've learned?
Honestly, I just watch stuff on Instagram. I talk to people. I feel like I keep a circle of people around me that are business people now. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I was my only friend that was a business person. And that was whack. That sucked so much. And I wish that it wasn't like that. But now a lot of my friends, they're business owners now. Now they have their own storefronts. Now they have all these other things. And now I have more conversation and better things to talk about, more wisdom in my circle now. But the downside of being a young business owner is that a lot of times, if your friends are around you, they work in 9 to 5s. They don't know shit about what you're saying, So that's my inspiration right now. My parents, my dad, having a better relationship with my family has helped me also become a better entrepreneur.
How so?
Because my dad owns properties. My dad does real estate. He's been doing all these things for years since I was a kid, but not having a great relationship, you don't feel the need to ask this person. You don't want to talk to them. So why would you even talk to them about, business? But now it's good. It's healthy. It's where I want it.
Is part of you not having the greatest relationship having to do, because I know African parents are really strict.
They kicked me out. They kicked me out for being a makeup artist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did that feel? Like, where did that lead you?
It just gave me motivation and drive, but then it also made me realize that it's whack to want to prove a point to people that you don't need to prove a point to.
Are you happy you proved the point though?
I don't care. That's the crazy part. So it's like you fight so bad to try to prove yourself or to try to make something make sense, and then you don't even give a flying, because you did it. It's done already. Sometimes.
But it was good to have that fuel, because some people need the fuel. Sometimes that anger, or I'm gonna prove people wrong in your early years, like you said, when you were young, it fueled you to like.
I just feel like being solution oriented will always bring you wealth. And I say that because all those black girl magic projects that I used to do when I was younger, it was because I didn't see enough black people being highlighted or appreciated. But now there's Fenty, there's all these brands, and then all these white brands are learning to make more shades or more hues for women of color. It's solved already. A lot of, I'm not being pompous, but a lot of people's mood boards, I was friends with people who was working in, high ranks in Sephora or different departments, and I was their mood board. So it's just like, I feel like the best way to win in life is when you choose to be a solution to a problem. And whatever you choose to do it as, you do it as. So if you do it as an artist, you do it as a banker, you do it as a politician, just find solutions and you good. And I feel like that's what I mean about focusing more on business, because that is a business formula. Solution is the definition of a business formula.
Yeah, it definitely is. Entrepreneurs are pretty much problem solvers.
Yeah, solution oriented.
That's definitely dope. Let me get into some more questions. So let's talk about Nollywood, and no, let's talk about the Usher tour first. How did you get on tour with Usher?
Oh, shout outs to Lala. She's his regular makeup artist. She couldn't make that trip. She couldn't make that trip to UK. She was working on her wedding and different things like that. So she called me and she sent me, and that was that. That's how I got to work with Usher. It was a blessing.
So you just went on tour, or you just did like a shoot, or?
Went on tour. Went to Europe with him.
Wow, for how many days?
It was like a week.
Okay, so you got to see it perform over and over again?
He was doing something with the roller skating company that he works with.
Yeah.
So I got to see a lot and experience a lot. So I'm really grateful for that.
So what business moves did you pull from like doing that experience? What did you learn that, because every experience helps you bring something into your business or help you grow your business?
I think it taught me to always keep your connections open. Love people, be kind to people, accept people how they are. Don't fall out with people, because she could have picked anybody to substitute for her. She picked me because we were speaking at the time, we were talking, and connections really matter. Relationships,
yes. Everything's relationship based.
Yeah.
Shout out to CCMG, my cameraman. I've known him for years. This is how I get this shot, AKA Photo Cop.
You and Tolo got the same name?
Yes, so his name's Eric too. So it's like Eric and Eric is dope. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Jesse, my boy Ziggy. Those are relationships I've had for years, and the craziest stuff always happens with business with them, and we do a lot of like power moves and stuff like that. So I definitely understand, having those relationships and keeping a solid foundation. Do you have like a best friend or somebody who's been rooting for you since day one?
My close friends from college, my cousins are really good. My cousins are great, and my close friends are great. They've been great, so I'm good with them.
Okay, let's talk about when you fell in love with me in college. Let's get into the good stuff. So when I met you in college, you were aspiring and stuff like that. You told me you loved me. And that,
wow, I did that?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you. You probably don't remember.
Please, what was Eric's girlfriend? Please, I didn't do that.
No, we're just joking. So I wanted to get into a favorite part of like I'd like to do in the show, which is pretty much I like to give you one word and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind. So you're only allowed to use one word to describe it.
Okay.
All right. So let's go into makeup.
Beauty.
Lions.
Art.
People.
Love.
Black.
Beautiful.
Essence.
Money.
Jewelry.
Fun.
Painting.
Nothing came up.
Nothing came up? Husband.
Maybe.
Children.
Definitely.
Afro.
Black.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Beyonce is just Beyonce. Yeah, Beyonce is just Beyonce. Okay. Haiti.
Beautiful.
Jamaica.
Lit.
London.
Love.
Earth.
Here.
Legacy.
Important.
Life.
Short.
Death.
Forever.
Parents.
Parents.
Okay. Friends.
Friends.
That's it? Just friends?
They my friends.
Studio.
Business.
Business.
Business is business now.
Oh, business is business. I like that. Business is business. Okay. Love.
Everything.
Last but not least, God.
First.
You put God above all.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I want to double back onto business again. Let's talk about some of the things you need in business and what you learned the hard way. So, taxes.
Taxes. I don't know. I'm okay with taxes. I go to an accountant. I'm all right. My mom has always been on my behind. Shout out to my mom. I've been going to Mr. Brown for a very long time. As soon as I started my business, my first one, my sole proprietor one, my LLC, everything, I've been on it. My mom don't let me get away with that.
She don't play?
No, she called me. She's in Nigeria right now. She called me. Did you file your taxes? It's over. Go out, file your taxes. She just called me on my way.
Yeah,
She was like, go late, you know?
Yeah,
No, my
man.
mom don't play that with me. So I don't know. Just go get an accountant, you know?
So you said sole proprietorship, LLC. What?
Yeah.
Did you switch? Do you have both? Like,
I have both. I don't use my sole proprietor, but I had my sole proprietor when I was young, and I just didn't know what I was doing. When I was young, me and my friends would just be calling each other like, yo, what you got? I got a sole proprietor. Go and do it. Just go. Like, you know, I didn't really know. And then everybody else was later on was like, nah, you got to get your LLC. And then I was like, okay. And when I got my LLC, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm telling you, it's now that I'm older that I'm actually reading up on everything. I'm like, wow, oh my God. So it's a good thing that I have this LLC that's like a good 8 years old. Now I'm actually using it for things like this, like the studio, different things like that. So
okay.
I don't know if I'm the best advice to you guys. I winged it, but now we're in a different era where you don't gotta wing it no more.
No, a lot of people wing it. A lot of people.
No, but I feel
wing it.
like nowadays it's all over the internet. All you gotta do is scroll and get some advice. But before, nobody was really giving out like business information all day long on the internet the way they do now.
Yeah, no, that is true. That's
So I feel
definitely
like
true.
if it was, you know, me and my friends that are into business send each other stuff we rule. Wow, I saw this online. You know, so it's just like, it's different now. So I don't know. Taxes, don't ask me. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to the Nigerian mothers holding it down, making sure you do your taxes. So with the business and stuff like that, how do you go about paying yourself? Do you have two accounts? Do you?
First of all, I feel like you're asking me too much. But my makeup money, I keep in my pocket.
Okay.
As a makeup artist, I keep in my pocket.
And that's what helps fund your other businesses, just in case, or?
No, like I keep my makeup money, whatever I've done as a service, that money I've always just kept that money in my pocket. Other things that I've ever invested in or played around with, I never really touched the money. I used the money for something else. But I'm not gonna go deep because that's none of y'all business. You figure out your own business, I'll do my own business.
The accent came right out. You said, you figure out your business.
Yeah, but that stream of income, as a makeup artist, that stream of income, I use it. I use my makeup money.
Okay.
That's all I would say.
I wanted to talk about, in building your business, you say you diversified your income, but it seems like it's stuck, like not stuck, but you actually just gonna go on a vertical, right? So if you own, like Apple, for instance, you make iPhones. they make headphones to go with the iPhone.
Yeah, that's the kind of business I have. I've piggybacked. It's like because the costumes work for the photo shoots. The studio works for the photo shoots. The photo shoots work with the jury. The jury work with the makeup, work with the. But for me, I use my makeup money as a living, like to live.
Yeah. And that's been very lucrative for you.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Do you still got the little yellow Beetle?
I let that Beetle go in COVID.
She used to drive a yellow Beetle to college, a Volkswagen. She loved this thing. She was so hyped.
I love I love punch buggies. I don't know why. I just love punch buggies. And yellow is my favorite color.
Yeah, I remember you used to pull up to class with that and just like, it's like, there go, you'd be spotted anyway. There goes Mo. Ready for class and stuff like that. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So we met in marketing class, and we helped each other out. She was basically a study partner of mine. We're just gonna keep it at that because we just got through college like the best we could.
We did it.
The best that we could, and that was cool. What did college teach you, and why should people go to college, or why shouldn't they go to college?
It taught me teamwork. And that's what I feel like I learned from college. Like, there's basic needs for every human being, no matter what race, what culture, what background you come from. And we all just trying to get through. We all just trying to get by in life. And that's what I learned from it. Just team up with people so life could be easier.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from college. I'm not going to lie. But my psychology and my sociology classes, and my African art class, it helped me out. The picture that Beyonce had on her mood board, I was inspired by my class when I was seeing like ancient Greek people, how they put statues in their homes and how they always look like this and different things like that. And then I started making art where everybody was just looking like royalty and just finding out little details to make the art look better than what it could have been. So I do love, like I said, art is being a creative business. Everything is an investment. So even art history classes are investments too. So I do appreciate that part of school. But the other parts, the accounting and all that, oh hell no, just teamwork. Teamwork.
Also, not just marketing, it was economics. Oh my God.
Yeah, accounting, economics.
We barely passed that.
Teamwork.
That was crazy. That was definitely crazy.
Teamwork.
Let's talk more about business aspects of stuff like that. So as far as, being the creative, how do people reach out to you? Where do they go as far as makeup?
Website, text message. The blessing is that people know that my prices are high or different things like that. But the downside is that people just assume that I'm not going to do their makeup. That I'm not going to do their makeup. I'm not going to do their wedding or different things like that because I do major projects. But I take everything.
Take everything. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you got calls for that you were surprised as far as just weddings or?
I'm not surprised by that.
No, but there's no wedding that you was like, oh wow, like, because predominantly I would say your creative direction is geared towards more Black people. So have you, any other races reached out to you to do things?
My first billboard project I did was for Lids, the hat brand.
Yeah.
And this is when I was going viral online, and I was just doing paint on Black people though. And the creative director for that project called me, and I was like, "But you sure the models you showing me are white? Like, you sure you think I could do this?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm positive. You'll be fine." And then when I got there, we did good. Me and my homegirls, we did really good on that project. And that was our first like major campaign, and it was just in different parts of the United States. It was in different lids. It was on billboards, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Did you ever see it like driving through New York or?
Yes. Oh, that has happened to me a few times.
Oh, she's not being cocky. She's just
no.
telling you what it is. A few times.
That has happened to me on a few occasions. Yeah.
So let's go back to this love thing. Do you feel like, does it inspire you thinking of love or what you've had or what you lost when making art too?
I I don't think about love from a man when I do art.
What do you think about?
I think about self-love. Like, I think about loving myself. Or ways that I could appreciate myself more. That's how I started making those headpieces. Like, you know what, you're a queen. Don't look at yourself like this. Or you know what, you're colorful, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. And it was like just a healing thing for me.
Oh, wow. Has anybody else felt healed when you did photo shoots or
Yes,
love?
even when we were in school, I remember this girl was in my class and I didn't know she had, what you call that, hysterectomy or something like that when they cut your boobs.
From cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
Surgery from cancer, yeah.
She saw my project that I did with Erica Hart and she was like, yo, I didn't know you was the painter behind that. Like, that made me so comfortable that I decided not to get reconstruction surgery on my boobs and I leave it how it is. Like, I'm at peace. And I was just like, whoa, this a random girl in the classroom. I would have never knew she had breast cancer. And she was young. And, when that happened, I was just like, wow, you trying to make yourself feel better has helped other people reach their goal too. And that's what I mean about being solution oriented and just focusing on yourself or focusing on solutions, because when you find a solution for yourself, it spreads. Being a makeup artist in the first place, I just wanted to look more feminine. It spread. It went from me doing it for myself to me doing it in so many different parts of the world.
That's interesting.
So I feel like when you service yourself, when you work on yourself, when you allow yourself to go through different healing journeys or be solution oriented and it bleeds over, the overflow is like magnificent.
What are some of your favorite movies? What are some of the things?
I'm not a movie person like that.
Everybody who works hard or like in business, sometimes they don't watch anything.
I don't really, before it was bad, I wasn't watching a damn thing. And then now I just be enjoying the Nollywood movies and like random little silly shows on Netflix. But I'm not really a TV person. I like music because you can play music while you make stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's if you could give younger Mo some advice, right? What would you give her?
Save and structure, because I'm giving myself structure. I never had structure because I was rebellious towards like my parents and stuff because they kicked me out. Like I didn't trust their opinion, because like even the paint series when I first did it, my mom was like, it looks like a snake is on the person's ear, like it looks like a snake. So I was like, okay. And then when BET, MTV, all these brands started reposting, I'm like, well, this is a lit snake, you know? So it's just like, I couldn't really trust their judgment, because if I did, I would have never accomplished all those things. So it was hard for me to have wisdom or advice or a covering over myself. But now I'm more focused on having structure and the covering and being strategic, because money's always going to come, money's always going to go, you know?
Yeah. That's very interesting. Oh, let's talk about some of your favorite shoots that you've done, or one of the worst shoots you've done that you didn't feel like very good about it, but it went crazy and people loved it.
I don't have a favorite shoot.
You don't? Mm-mm. You don't have like a favorite child, like everybody, like, nothing stood out to you that, this.
The only thing I can say is when I made the rose petal gown, it just stretched I like stretching. So if I did something that made me stretch, that made me sweat, that's one thing. But to say I have a favorite shoot, no. I feel like I'm gonna be one of those parents that love my kids equally.
Nah, I can't. I'm not. That's why I only have one kid. I might love the second one more, the third one more. I love my first baby.
Because I love everything. I just feel like I love when I exceed my own expectations. That's what I love, and I feel like that's it. When you're a creative business owner, that should be happening to you on a daily basis. That should be happening. That's the cool part about being a creative entrepreneur, Like Mona Scott asking me to do creative direction for 2 TV show episodes. Did I ever do a TV show? No. You know, like, so it's just like, it just is what it is. That comes with the territory. You're supposed to be trying out, because people just assume that you know how to do stuff just because you knew how to do this. And then they just have faith in you, and then you end up believing in yourself. But that's the cool part about being an entrepreneur that's a creative.
You just figure it out.
You just figure it out.
You ever had imposter syndrome?
Oh, yes, of course. I feel like I'm the definition of imposter syndrome. Because I don't act like I've done things.
What you've done?
Yeah, I don't do that. Because it's God-given. It could be taken.
I have a guy right now who's a creative director. Shout out to Georgie, aka Rocks & Co. creative director. He's just starting his path too. He has an affinity for like 90s era things. So he's just, if you could give him something, because he loves that era, if you could give him something that's kind of cool, some advice, what would you give him?
Keep going. I know that sounds cheesy, but that's literally the only way. And like I said, structure. If you got it, then you lit. If you have structure and artistic gifts, you've made it in life. Most people aren't making it in life because they don't have the structure or they don't have the art. It's just, it is what it is.
So where does Mo see herself in the next 10 years?
I have no idea yet. I don't have any idea of that yet.
But children's definitely one of those.
Well, at least one, I hope so. Yeah, I feel like children will definitely be one of them. But for me, like, I know that I could adapt to things very easily. So, like, even if I became a stay-at-home mom, I can make products and sell it on Etsy because I know how to make stuff, right? So it's just like, you don't know what the next chapter is. Sometimes you just gotta gracefully walk into it. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a 5 or 10-year plan.
Yeah. AI, let's talk about that. AI is all the rage now. AI is what everybody's talking about. How has that helped your business? How has that changed the business for you?
You could write in it things, mood boards. You could create your own mood boards by typing it in and showing it to the client, like, this is what we would make you look like. This is how the shoot would come out. You could type in your ideas and look at it like a mock version of your own. But for as long as there's still events for people to physically go to, for as long as people want physical images of themselves, I think I'm all right. There's no AI for makeup application yet, so I'm all right.
What about the filters and stuff? All the girls are in love with the rage.
Yeah, that's fine, but you need to look like that filter when you step out of your house.
There's no AI for that.
There's no AI for that yet, so I'm all right for now.
Okay. So I think I don't really have anything else to ask you. I think this interview went great. Just give some words of inspiration and give your socials and stuff, where people can find you, where they can book you.
You could find me, my name, Moshoodat, is everywhere. My Instagram, my TikTok, my everything is just my name, Moshoodat. And Moshoodat.com for all your beauty services that you need. Everything is just my name.
And the price is the price.
Ooh.
Y'all stop asking for discounts, man. Ooh. We know who you are. Now we stop. I just feel like, because I feel like when you're trying to get on a rise and stuff like that, people, friends or people close or people even know.
People always ask for discounts.
Yeah,
they're never gonna stop.
But they'll pay
even
full.
Corporate companies ask for discount.
Really? Do you give them?
Why the hell would I do that? I'm just showing you, everybody wants a deal in this life. Yeah. Everybody wants a deal. People go to Macy's and wait for the deals. They wait for sales. People wait for sales to show up places. That's just life.
Do you ever go on sale?
No.
So your business, all right, you never go on sale. That's dope. That's definitely good. That was episode 3 of Case Study Series. Thank you to the lovely guest, Moshoodat, for being on here. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure anything that people watch from this case study, they'll be able to take knowledge from and apply to their own life, especially do your motherfucking taxes. You don't have a Nigerian mom who's gonna call you, but do your taxes.